Alright, now let's take a look at the rest of the dashboard settings, and we're just going to go through them and talk about how they all work. So we did look at appearance, and you have themes. Customize lets you then edit some different things that are on your site, so you can change the colors, you can change the menu structure, and you can change which page displays your posts, a static page or your latest post for your front page. Change the title of the site. Let's do that right now. I'm going to put spaces in between everything. And I'll change my tagline. Oh, just another WordPress blog on healthcare social media. So I'm going to save that. And as you can see, I changed it dynamically. And then I can change featured content and hide that from my post meta. So featured tags or something that you want to add that can go to your menu bar. So we can then close out of here and we can go back to widgets. Widgets are sidebar things. They actually are the right-hand column of your site. So we have the search widget, recent posts, archives, categories, and tag clouds. So let me show you what that looks like on the front. And that's everything that is here. Recent posts, archives, search, categories, and tag cloud. Maybe you don't want to show the tag cloud, and maybe you want to hide it. So you would go back to dashboard, you would go back to appearance, go to widgets, and then drag the tag cloud off. And there you go. You've just taken that off. And there's so many more widgets and plugins that you can get to add to your WordPress blog. You can list all the blogs that you follow and drag that over so that you can show other people other blogs that you follow. You can add a contact information widget, and then you can put like your address and contact information in there, and you can save your settings. You can close them to hide the options. So you can click on the triangle as well to close it, and then you can click delete to bring them off of there, and you go back to your dashboard. Header is pretty simple. It just says, hey, this is your header. This is what your header looks like. You can, for this blog, you can set up a photo in the back, and you can change the color of your text. Background is, do you have a background photo or do you have a background color? And you can easily set up. So this is kind of more like the look and the feel under appearance. Custom design, you can then take a look at different fonts that you can use for your blog. You can also check out different colors. And if you are intrepid enough, you can take a look at the CSS or the cascading style sheets to change different layout features. As a physician blogger, I would suggest not to play with your CSS all that much because it is something that is more for the development world to do. But if you're comfortable with writing HTML and CSS, you can have at it. But for simple purposes of this chapter, just kind of take a look at some of the basic settings that WordPress has to offer. Users. Users are people who also contribute to your blog. So anyone who comments on your blog becomes to be a user, and they are just a commenter. So when you have users that come back frequently, they can be added to your blog as a commenter, and you can see what their different roles are. So we have contributor, author, editor, and administrator. If you run a WordPress blog, you're the administrator. You have all these different changes that you can make. You can edit everything. An editor lets you have certain privileges. You can edit blog posts and comments, but maybe you can't create new widgets and site layout. Authors are people who can write blog posts and it can edit their own but can't edit anybody else's. So this is really helpful if you're creating a blog that has multiple people writing to it and also contributing to it, because then you can invite them to write for your site and then you can edit them as you see fit. This is how Kevin MD works quite a bit. A lot of people are guest bloggers and they write for the site, and then there's a couple administrators who make sure everything is working properly. And a contributor is someone who is commenting. And right now the only one that I have set up is myself, because I've commented once and I've created 4 posts because I'm an admin. You can invite different people to your blog, and you can also edit their roles. So, and then what happens then is you can go to their public profile and then make them take a look at all their information here. So That's under users. You can invite new users to join. So you can put in email addresses and ask them to, hey, be a follower of my blog. And then you can send them a personalized message that WordPress will email out to them. And then personal settings. This section here shows you your admin color scheme. So right now we're on the dark and blue. We can change that to light, change that to blue. You can change how your actual installation looks. I like the default. You can set up your Twitter API and your keyboard shortcuts, your browser connection. This is all information that helps set up to make your blog work on different browsers. And then you can also turn on proofreading and additional post content. Pretty simple information. You're not going to have your email address listed publicly. It's just there to help in case you ever lose your password. But this is something to take a look at. Take a look at your personal settings and see how you like your WordPress site set up. Tools are important. Tools let you extend more functionality with your WordPress site, and you can take a look at different tools here. That Google Webmaster Tools, if you're using Google Analytics to check how how much traffic your site's getting, you can put your API codes in here. And if you have Pinterest or Yandex or maybe Bing Webmaster privileges, you can put them all in here, and that just extends your site. So as a physician blogger, it's not entirely necessary at this point to start delving into these. But if you happen to use Google Analytics, that's a very popular one, you can put that tool API in here. So that is just some of the stuff under available tools. Import lets you import blog content from another blogging source. So if you've created a blog somewhere else using Blogger, BlogRoll, LiveJournal, Zanga, Yahoo 360, you can actually import all of your blog posts from there to WordPress, and they'll show up on your site as just new blogs. So it's a good thing that if you're jumping from one blogging platform to another, that WordPress already has it built in for you to grab stuff from other blogging posts, other blogging platforms, and put them into WordPress. This is where you actually go to export your blog as well, and it creates an XML file that then can be taken somewhere else. So just how you can import things, you can also export them. So if you're going to leave WordPress and go to any one of these, you can click export and it'll save a whole version of your entire site so that you can then upload. So we click export, and what should happen is that I should get an export file, and it's saved to my downloads, and it should be your site's, your blog site's name .xml. So that will be the type of file that you would get. It's just important to know, and there's a lot of other videos and resources that can show you how to export your blog and save it to another place. Really helpful if you have a website that you've just created in WordPress and you want to export all your blog content to it, you can actually move stuff to there. Settings are, this is how people can actually see your site. So you go to settings, go to general, and you can change the name of the site title. I'm going to make it capital. And then you can change your tagline, change your time zone of what you're posting, the date format, so how things are time stamped, how your time format looks, what day of the week what the week starts on. So that is also for internal clock purposes. The language that you're using, and then this is the funny thing: the snow falling that starts until that runs in your blog until January 4th. So if you click this, it'll show like there's snowflakes falling on your blog. Is it fun? Yes. Is it cute? Yeah. Is it necessary? Definitely not. So you can change your settings, and then once you've done that, it should just save, and then you will still be on the General tab. Writing is how you want your posts to look. So the default category was always in Categorize, which we renamed to Musings here. You can show the default post format, which is standard, aside, chat, gallery. This is just how your posts look. Default category, you can change it to BlogRoll or put other categories in. Markdown is something that you want to click to learn more about. It's a different type of writing, kind of like code. And then formatting shows if you do emoticons, where you type the little smiley faces with text, it'll display graphics instead. So that's all that's important here on writing right now. Reading shows you this is how you want your blog pages to be set up. Your latest posts, should they be on the front page, or do you want to put them on a static page? And there you can change that. So maybe I wanted to put all my blog posts under About This Blog, and then I can save all this, and then when I go back to home, to the front of my site, when I go to About This Blog, you'll see all my blog posts there. And this is just basic stuff. Just read through the settings here. You can take a look at, do you want to show in full text, or do you want to show a summary until you actually click into the blog post? How many feeds do you want to show? How many blog pages do you want to show at most on one page? Do you want to be able to scroll infinitively so you can keep scrolling instead of going to different pages for blogs? And then you can enhance your feeds by adding these to your articles, showing your categories and tags, comment count, and sharing. And then below here, you can set follower settings. And as you can see, show followed button to log out users. And this is the email text that will be with it. So this is just general reading and following of your blog and how WordPress lets you extend your blog's communication with readers. Discussion is really important as well, and just take a look through the discussion settings, and this will let you know how you want to be emailed from WordPress. So do you want to get an email and notification anytime anyone does anything on your site, or do you want to take a look at things on a daily digest or a weekly digest, or do you want to turn those settings off and only take a look at them when you actually go into your WordPress blog? So this is one of those things that you have to actually sit down and take a look through and just read through, because it can get really long and arduous to go over each step. But most of them are pretty intuitive. As you read them, you can understand what they're talking about. Media. Media shows, like, if you actually add photos to a photo gallery or have an image gallery carousel, you can set the sizes of your photos and your thumbnails. It's pretty standard for most photos. Sharing is the tab that lets you show which connections you want to have. Do you want to add your blog to Twitter, add your blog to Facebook, add it to LinkedIn, and then there's a couple other ones here. We've got Google+, Tumblr, and Path. And then you can add different services to your blog posts already. So here we go. We have already on our blog, we have set up Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and press this to share out to the other WordPress sites. Maybe I want to add Google+. And now I have the ability to, when anyone comes to my blog, they can share my blog post out to Google+. In the past, I've told you to keep your social media networks separate. This is one of those ones where it's a little bit more nebulous. Depending on what you're blogging about, you might want to connect it to Facebook, or you might want to connect it to LinkedIn. If you're doing a personal blog as a physician and you just want to share it out with friends and family, you can share it to Facebook. And if you're also using Twitter for yourself and not so much healthcare, you can also apply it to Twitter. But if you're using it more for a professional healthcare blog, you might want to add it to LinkedIn. You might want to enable LinkedIn and connect it so that anytime that you post anything here, it'll be shared out to LinkedIn as well. And if you're using Twitter also to share out to healthcare professionals, you might also want to connect that too. So this is one of those more nebulous platforms where you can actually want you to link it to your other sites, because this will help enrich your other social media works. Polls and ratings, they're pretty simple. They are, if you've created a poll, you can actually get the results of that, and that's under feedback. You can create polls, ratings, and feedback. Ratings are how people have actually rated your pages, and you can see how much people actually like certain pages and content that you've posted. Ad control. This is to keep your WordPress blog free. Sometimes you run advertisements on your blog. You can remove these with the no ads upgrade or a bundle. So, like every other thing of social networking, you are going to have ads, and you get no real control over them, except with here that you can purchase an upgrade and you can get rid of all the ads, just like how LinkedIn works in a great deal of ways. Email post changes. You can actually set this up that if you email your WordPress installation, whatever you post in your email will actually go as a blog post. So you can actually set that up. So send an email when a post change or page changes. So right now, anytime anyone who is a user of your website, of your blog posts, they can you'll get an email from WordPress saying, "Hey, one of your authors made a change," and then you can go and check it out. So that's really helpful if you have multiple people, actually contributing to your blog. You can get all the updates from here. And OpenID and webhooks, these are other functions of WordPress that lets you support different things. I don't ever use OpenID, and it's not entirely important. And then webhooks here are just, these are HTTP post requests. These are things that not exactly necessary for what we're talking about in this video. But that's it. That is the dashboard in and of itself in a nutshell, as quickly as we could get through it. There's so much more to talk about this, but this is the basic overview of the back end, the dashboard of your site. And, as we showed before, the front end, this is what everyone else comes to see.